Hey, I recorded 3 videos today and this is my 4th, meaning my throat hurts. Anyways, I know what you guys are thinking, but I'm just a baby, I can't make good art. Well, you can if you really simplify it. And so I bet you're thinking like, oh, I can't make that. That's way too advanced for me. I mean, sure, but can you make that? And even if that's too advanced for you, then can you make something like this? I'm pretty sure you can, and if you can't, that's totally fine because art takes practice. You're not just like born and then you could do art. Art is a skill and you could always improve. So a lot of people make your character at 8 heads tall. I make mine 7 heads tall because that's the realistic thing. Yeah, okay. So we're going to measure this entire character by heads, as most people do. So that's why I'd also recommend you to draw your character from head to toe instead of from the bottom to the top, since we measure everything using the head. That's how we get correct proportions. That's why a lot of people use the head first, like they draw the head first. You ever wonder why people do that? It's because it helps them get a grip of the other proportions. So I feel like one of the most important things of anatomy is their proportions. You could worry about muscle groups and blah 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 later. So here we're making a really sketchy, somewhat awful head with weird eyes and a weird mouth. And that's okay, because we're not going to draw the perfect head. We're just doing all this so that we can get a basic idea of the character. Now here, as you can see on the left side of the screen, there is markings. And keep in mind that 1/4 and stuff like that, half, that's all half of a head, a fourth of a head. If you don't know what a fourth is or a half, then dang, dude, I thought I sucked at math. Anyway, if you don't know what that is, then you can just look it up because it's basic math and you should know it no matter what. So yes. Okay, so throughout the entire video, I'm also going to give you little tips. So I usually draw the entire torso before drawing the breast. And yes, I'm drawing a female because that's what the majority of people draw. Don't worry, I'll have a separate tutorial on telling you how to draw a male. Though the same proportions, aside from the breast, I guess, apply to every single person. Usually people can make the person 8 heads tall, 7 heads tall, or 7.5. I usually land on 7.5 since it feels pretty universal to me. So as you can see, the arms stop where the waistline is. So a lot of things connect to everything, which is actually one of the things that makes anatomy a lot easier than you think. Kind of like where your elbow is when your arm is down is also where your waist is. Kind of like that. Like your hand is about half a hand from your knee, or like a hand from your knee. So we're gonna measure this. That is 1 hand. And I want to just tell you guys something about boobies real quick. Okay, do not draw boobies like they're saggy weird things. Well, I mean, sure, some people's boobs are saggy and that's completely normal. Sorry if this topic makes you uncomfortable, but face it, when you were a baby, you sucked on boobies. Because we all did, so we gotta stop treating boobies like they're illegal. Okay, these boing boings are not illegal. So, as you can see, there is always measurements to everything and we're using the head. About 1/3 of the head is where the neck ends and where the shoulder starts. Then about half of the head is where the end of the neck starts, that little dip thingy. And then where the hip is, no, that's not a hip, what's wrong with me? Where the waist is also where the shoulder is. I mean the elbow. Is anyone confused? I bet you all are. So you just need to keep referencing off of the little diagram thingy that I have on the left side of the screen, and I'm just trying to explain it more in depth on this side. As for the hand, I don't know about you guys, but my fingers are kind of long. I always thought my fingers were normal, then I looked at everyone else's hands, I'm like, ha, baby fingers. When I found out that they didn't have baby hands, I just had weird alien hands. So when drawing hands, make the longest finger the same length as the palm. And then 1 hand away from the knee is where the hand ends. You can also take pictures of yourself as reference. Try to measure everything by the head, okay? Just try to remember to measure everything by the head. So also a good part of this to learn faster is to simplify everything. Don't learn about muscle groups yet. Please don't. You're gonna overwhelm yourself. What you should do is you should learn every little thing first. So we're gonna move on to the head, okay? So the head, as you can see, we have the top head, we have the hairline, we have the eyeline, we have the nose, we got the mouth, and we have the chin. I covered her face with a mask because I thought it looked cool. Masks aren't really that cool. They're just me running away from my responsibilities of drawing the face. But I did end up drawing the face, so when you have the circle, it's okay to adjust your head using the liquify pen. Unless you're doing this traditionally, then good luck. So anyways, I drew the ears too big. When you're drawing something, try not to zoom up too much, because it's better to see the bigger picture. So the eyes and the schnoz, the nose. So the mouth is about halfway from the middle of the face, making it a fourth of the face. I feel like a mathematician. Okay. And also I have some things here. If the quality of the video is too low, then don't worry, I have all these images saved up on my Google Drive, which I'm making public to everyone if you guys want to get that. Also, when you're making your shoulders, please don't forget the trapezius muscle, I think that's what it's called. You don't need to remember the names of these muscles, you just need to remember where they are. So a lot of people, when they're drawing things, they forget to add that triangle muscle. You have to add that triangle muscle or your creature's gonna look weird. Also, boobs are not weird circles. They are tear-shaped and they start from the armpit. Take that from a human that has boing boings. They're small boing boings still, but they still boing boings. Alright, we gotta stop acting like boobs are illegal. They're not. They're a normal thing. I shouldn't feel awkward when talking about it. Okay? Why does it feel weird to draw the crotch? There's nothing inappropriate about it, okay? It's a part of the human body. Also, I know that for a lot of people, thigh gaps are like ideal for a human, but I always thought thigh gaps looked a little weird when drawing. Don't get me wrong, if you have thigh gaps, you're still fabulous. Society says you're fabulous anyway. But you know what, it's fine not to have thigh gaps. I usually like to make them connected. And for the leg, as you can see, the inside of the thigh goes from curved to straight, and on the opposite side, it goes from straight to curved, as you can see. Look at my leg. Look at that leg. And don't forget about the knee, please. Also, that example, the calf, or, you know, the lower leg, was way too much. Also, when you're drawing feet, don't draw each individual toe. Also, don't draw your feet like that. We all drew the feet like that, okay? Let's admit it. When we were younger, we all drew the feet like that. Maybe you're still drawing the feet like that. I know for a fact I did, and I tried to stand like that just to prove to my siblings that I was drawing feet correctly, but it was very uncomfortable to stand like that, so. Okay. Now for the shoulders, don't make them square-shaped, cornered sharp. They'll look stiff and weird. We want a loosey-goosey person, okay? And as you can see, the elbow starts right where that waist is, hip thing, whatever. I gotta go back to kindergarten. Alright. So, as you can see, for me, the arm, I thought it was straight, curve, but it's actually just like the leg, where it's curved, then straight, and on the opposite side, it's straight, then curved, as you can see on the diagram on the left side of the screen. So my thumb looks really weird because I'll admit it, I have no idea how to draw hands. And it's okay to admit when you don't know how to do something, because I forgot who said this, but the man who thinks he knows everything learns nothing. Admitting that you're wrong opens the possibility of learning something, and therefore you'll become more intelligent, because you'll be asking the questions and you'll be learning something. You might look like an idiot in the beginning, but face it, you'll probably be the smartest person ever if you keep asking questions and keep admitting when you don't know. Being smart isn't knowing everything, it's having the ability to know when you're wrong and wanting to know more. Constantly expanding your knowledge is what's going to make you into a good artist and an intelligent person. I was reading a book by Mark Manson. If you guys don't know him, then that's okay, because I didn't know him either. I also noticed that the calves were way too thick. So see, we had the most basic human standing, and I feel like the hands are still too big. Yeah, that's me messing up while making a tutorial. Teaching you guys how to do something while messing up, which makes me quite an awful teacher. that's okay, because I'm still learning myself. Yeah, boy. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but don't forget where your joints are. Where your joints are, everything starts to get a little thinner because you need that room for your bones to move, and if you got all that flesh in the way, you're probably not going to be so flexible. So yes, also for the shoulder, now we're going in for more details. So, as you can see, for that shoulder, I made a bit of a tear shape, as you can see on the diagram on the left side of the screen. I'm gonna keep referring to the diagram because I know that some of y'all are blind. I mean that in the nicest way possible. I love you all. I really do. Also, when drawing your feet, don't just draw triangles. Remember, there is toes. And do not draw at each detail of the toe because that'll just look weird. Just like draw the big toe, I guess. And then don't forget to draw the heels. And since I thought the feet looked weird and I really wanted to draw shoes, I decided to draw shoes. I have been avoiding the responsibility of drawing shoes for since the day I was born. So I'm finally learning how to draw shoes. I'm still kinda not the greatest at it, but I think I'm pretty decent. I can confidently say that I can draw a shoe, I guess. Of course there's mistakes in it, but you know what, that's fine. So I thought that looked a little weird. Anyways, now we're going back to the diagram of the face. Keep in mind, when you draw an eye, we want enough room for an extra eye in there. Okay, that eye was too big, so she looked really weird. So if you take your two fingers and measure your eye, you can see that there's enough room for a third eye between both of your eyes. So use that same for your art. Of course, when you have stylized drawings such as anime is stylized. Anything that's not realistic is stylized. So, for all these stylized drawings, we mess with the anatomy a little bit, but we always follow specific rules so that your drawings still look correct. Okay? Like, we still follow the heads rule. We always measure things by heads. Even when drawing chibis, the head is the same size as the body, or the head is 2 heads for the body. We always go by heads, okay? Us artists measure by heads. It's a universal understanding because everyone's got a head. Literally everyone. Okay? I don't know, I feel like someone's gonna prove me wrong in the comments and be like, hey, so-and-so doesn't have a head. I don't have a head because I don't have a brain. I do have a brain because I'm a genius. Nope, that sounded narcissistic. Jeez. I'm just trying to sound positive about myself without sounding narcissistic. Because I don't want to be one of those people who are like, oops, I suck at this. I suck. Like, I kind of want to put a bit of an end and start normalizing confidence. Since a lot of people find that being confident makes you a jerk, which is a lie. It doesn't make you a jerk. Anyways, I colored this in with grayscale. And I noticed that the thighs should be bigger than the calves, or the calves should be like at least the same size as the thighs. Me, I'm somewhat of an underweight person, okay? So, I know, I should eat a burger, I'm trying, but you know what? I'm in that weird stage of growth where I'm just weird and long and skinny, okay? Anyways, so don't make your calf larger than your thigh in drawing. Also, that's about it. That sums up everything. I hope you weren't confused with the big brain math stuff. Also, here are all of the photos for reference of what I showed you guys today. So when you guys do this, feel free to tag me on Instagram or YouTube, I guess, or Twitter, since I opened a Twitter, which I am dead on. Yeah, that's me, CEO of being dead on social media, but still posting on YouTube every single 2 days. So if you guys found this tutorial useful, please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, yada yada yada, you know, basically what every single YouTuber says. And if you guys found this extremely confusing, then please don't be afraid to ask me some questions in my Discord server. I'm opening up a new channel in the Discord server that says Art Questions. I'm going to be picking some questions from there and making a video about them every single week, since I want to know your questions so that I can help you out. Alright, be completely straightforward, no matter how dumb the question might be, like how to draw a toe, I will still want to answer it, because I want to help you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys found this tutorial useful, and yeah. Okay, take care everyone, and see ya, and don't forget, no tutorial is gonna make you, be able to do something. When you walk away from this tutorial, you will not be able to make a decent person until you practice again and again and again. That's art. Art is a skill. Okay? See ya!